quick little onion update for you all. If you watched my past video when I planted these, this is what they're looking like now. And I am uppotting them to their very own single soil block. Because as you can see here, we've got several seeds per cell. Several onion plants per cell, and we want to give them their own space, and we also want to get them into some soil that has some nutrients, because this is just seed starting mix, and so it's sterile. It doesn't have any kind of, food or organic matter that's going to make them grow. So this one here come out pretty good, roots and all, and you can see that's a pretty long seed cell. That's what I wanted for these onions, but they were kind of difficult to get out. I didn't have any way for me to punch them up, but that one seemed to come out pretty good. I'm just trying to get these out of here the best way I possibly can without trying to damage the roots too much, which has proven to be a little complicated because these seed cells are so deep, which is good because that means the roots are long, but then they're harder to get out of there. And once I get them out, I'm just kind of breaking up the seed starting mix out from around them. These are a little bit dry, but they're not saturated. You don't want the onions to sit in water, but I'm getting ready to water them, so that's okay. I get them separated like this. And onions don't mind to be transplanted. Some plants will go into a bit of a shock, but these will be just fine. And then I am taking a plant and sticking the roots down inside of the soil block, which I made the soil blocks, and then I just made the holes a little bit deeper with a pin, just kind of poked it down in there. That way I'd have an easier time getting the roots in there. And that's it. And then once these get a little bit bigger and the weather gets a little bit warmer, I'll be sticking them outside, which I don't think we're going to have too much cold weather left, but I don't want to jump the gun and put them out there, and then, which onions are pretty cool weather hardy anyway. These are just babies. But I'm just sticking them down in there. It's just as easy as it gets. Just make sure that you get the roots down in there and you cover them up. I uppotted a lot of my kale. I wanted to put just 1 or 2 plants per pot here, but I have so much kale, I didn't have enough room for that. That's okay. They're doing really well since I put them in this. I just put them in these probably about 3 days ago, and they're already taking off. These plants over here desperately need to be uppotted. These are snapdragons, which I've never grown before, but I'm gonna have to take a pencil or something and prick out the seedlings and give them their own soil block, just like I've done with the onions. Same thing goes for the rest of these. So we've got spinach, and these are little strawberry plants. That was an experiment. It's going well. And cilantro, and then we've got some Swiss chard over there. Here's all of my cabbages. These are cauliflowers and broccoli. This tray right here are like the Asian cabbages, like Napa cabbages, stuff like that. And then this over here, I've got all different types of cabbages: Golden Acre, Early, Jersey Wakefield. I've noticed that the red varieties of these, they haven't germinated as well. They're not growing quite as well. This is the red Reuben Brussels sprouts right here. Actually, I take that back. This right here, I don't know how you say it. That's a red cabbage, and it seems to be doing well. These little Brussels sprouts are struggling. Not sure what's going on there because everything else seems to be doing pretty well. These are not really stretching towards the light. These are a little bit spindly. I think they're going to do just fine though. These are the eggplants that we started, and as you can see, nothing has come up yet. The eggplants and asparagus, they like warm weather. It takes them a while for them to germinate, and nothing has come up. And then If I can get these onions out of the way. This is my beet experiment. These are soil blocks, and yes, I am just putting them in cardboard Amazon boxes because I cannot afford that many durable seed trays right now. Hopefully soon, but right now these cardboard boxes are doing just fine. This was my experiment to see if I could start beets in the house and transplant them without too much transplant shock. I took multiple different types of beets, mixed them all together into a jar of water, let them soak for about 24 hours, and then put them into soil blocks. A lot of them have two. I'll probably just leave them growing side by side. I've seen people put two beets in the same hole and they kind of grow together. They're smaller than these single ones. They're going to get their own space. They're going to get a lot bigger. Depression banana story, where I had the worst year of my life and let a bunch of packets of seeds sit on my counter and a bunch of bananas rotted on top of them, and pretty much every seed packet did not sprout. However, this was a pack of beets that I hadn't tried, and I put them, I didn't want to waste any space if they weren't going to sprout, so I put them in this wet paper towel, and let's see if they've sprouted. I'll tell you what, I wasn't too hopeful when I saw this pink stuff because that's mold, but looky there. They have sprouted. And now I'm going to have to get them into soil blocks of their own, so hopefully they can grow into beets. I don't know how well, see look, the roots on these are starting to rot a little bit where they've been in this paper towel, starting to dry out. So I don't know how well these are going to do transplanting. It's better than me throwing the whole seed packet away thinking that they weren't going to germinate. So this was my little experiment. These seeds were probably about 3 years old. They had gotten wet with that rotten banana juice, and like I said, several other packets of seeds. They did not sprout at all. So I'm going to get these potted up just like the rest of them, see if they actually do anything. Hopefully they will, but if not, it was an experiment. This kale is doing fantastic. They're really healthy. They're growing really fast. Kale is a really easy, fast-growing vegetable. It doesn't require a whole lot of space. If you're new to gardening and you like kale, I wouldn't say to plant something you don't like, but if you like kale, give it a try. It's a really easy and fun crop and fast one to grow. Oh, and I've not just got kale here. I've got some cilantro potted up here in the corner. I've got all different kinds here. I wanted to just compare to see which ones I like the best. It's hard whenever you're gardening to not plant every single variety. And like I said, I've got a seed addiction, so I'm going to plant a bunch and share with friends. This update video is to show y'all that if you've got something like a soil blocker or even just cardboard boxes and you just fill it full of soil, you plant your seeds in it, they're gonna grow. You don't have to have anything fancy to grow your seeds. I will say that the lights help, because if I didn't have the lights, they would be a little bit spindly. If you got some big windows, and even if you get the $4 grow bulbs from like Walmart, you can just take a regular lamp. Maybe you've got some sort of desk lamp that you can put over top of them, and you can get regular, they just look like regular light bulbs, but they're actually grow bulbs, and you can make a cheaper grow light that way. The grow lights were a good investment, I would say. So I bought them about 4 or 5 years ago, and the prices have quadrupled on grow lights, which is wild. I'm wanting to take these onions once they get big enough and put them in a raised bed instead of putting them in the ground, because onions, the biggest enemy is weeds, and I have a really difficult time keeping weeds out of the onion patch. So that's what I'm wanting to do this year, is just dedicate one of my little raised beds out there to onions and see what grows. The snapdragons, I didn't expect that many. I don't know, I'm gonna have enough cardboard boxes to pot all of them, but if they all grow into beautiful flowers, I'm not gonna complain. I'll gift them. I'll till up the entire yard if I have to and plant flowers everywhere. What are you guys growing? What's coming up? I want to know what you have in your seed starting room, in your greenhouse. I want a greenhouse. I'm gonna have to get to building one, because I don't think that all these plants are gonna fit in this room. And even if they do, I'm gonna have to get a new shelf. I'm gonna have to get new grow lights. So I better get to building. Let me know down in the comments what you're growing. I've got so many things that I want to share with you guys, so stay tuned, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.